Nick Walker confirms a new coach. He's had more coaches than ex-girlfriends. Today I'll reveal who it is and discuss his next competition, which he's already announced. He's aiming to qualify for Mr. Olympia. This guy has been in competitive bodybuilding for several years, with drama after drama with his former coaches. I've brought this up on the channel numerous times. Do you remember Matt Jensen, one of Nick Walker's former coaches? There's a video of him talking and crying with him, and he has made serious accusations against that coach. They parted ways on bad terms, but then Kyle came along. He worked with this man for a season, and then they had problems again, and he left on bad terms. He has also worked in the past with Dominic Mustaccio and Guy Cisterino. And all this leads us to his current coach. On this channel, we have the meme that when Nick Walker does badly, he fires his coach. But it's not just a meme, it actually seems to be true. And his current coach, the one he has started working with, is Prab. It doesn't matter. How do you pronounce it? This gentleman here. I didn't know him, and I think most of you don't know him either. He only has 7,000 followers, and his profile says that he has achieved 27 open victories, 6 IFBB Pro cards, and 5 IFBB Olympia qualifying wins. Not him, but the people he coaches. Apparently he was a bodybuilder back in the day, and Nick Walker is going to give him a chance. Or rather the chance to blame him if things go wrong at the Olympia. Well, let's see how things go with this gentleman. Honestly, I don't know anything about his methodology, nor do I know anything about him. I'm discovering it as the weeks go by. I also want to ask a question, and that is, what for? At this year's Arnold Classic, 2026, Nick Walker looked spectacular. He didn't win, but he came very close and showed an incredible physique. Aside from Nick's usual problem that sometimes his abdomen gets distended, and that he has the structure of a shoebox, yes, we already know that. What he can control, he nailed perfectly. The definition, extreme, defined, hard, cut. He came out full, tight, dense, he didn't look flat or empty. As for the preparation and the conditioning, he did it very well, and he was carrying himself. That is, Nick Walker was his own coach. And he got ready, he made himself look good, and brought out his best version. So why does he need a coach if he already does so well and has so much experience, which he has accumulated over the years? It could be for two reasons. First, to delegate and ease the pressure and mental strain during difficult preparation days. And what I see as more plausible, which I think is to blame him, he's already reached the point where if things go wrong, if he loses, it's the trainer's fault, and he fires him and starts with another one. The endless cycle. This is half humor, half truth, because between jokes, the truth comes out. Now let's talk about the competition he's confirmed for, which is the Tampa Pro. Just as I analyzed and predicted in my video about Nick Walker, time is running out. You have to compete now, man. YouTube wouldn't allow that many characters, but it would have been nice. Not much time left to qualify. Tampa Pro is July 30th to August 1st. It would be a very good option for Nick Walker to compete. In that video, I talked about the Tampa, the Texas, and some other competitions that would suit him well, given his level of conditioning, since he could compete soon, as he's practically ready to compete. This competition in question is in 8 weeks, but if he wanted to, he could compete in a week as well. He's super shredded, and I think he has chosen the competition quite well. First, because it's in the United States, it's close to his home. Second, because I don't think there will be very big bodybuilders, very hard to beat. Almost everyone is already qualified. I've been looking over the list, and I think the main names in the current scene are on the list and have earned their qualification for the Olympia. For now, we know that. I know, Palacios is going to compete in that Tampa Pro. He's a pretty massive open bodybuilder too, kind of like Nick Walker but with an even worse structure, if that's possible. It'll be a tank battle, but I believe Nick Walker is far superior to him and anyone else competing. I honestly find it really hard to see Nicholas the Walker losing the competition. It's a smart decision since almost everyone is already qualified and most aren't competing anymore, preparing for the Olympia. So it's a good time to get the qualification. Watch out, Nick. You might just have a furious Juan Prado show up and give you a fight. Nah, I don't think he'll go. Nick Walker should win the Tampa without much trouble. Quinton Herria is going to compete in Toronto, and maybe he'll also do several competitions in a row like other years and show up in Tampa. Maybe, but I don't think he'll be able to beat Nick. Is this going to be the definitive coach for Nick Walker? Will they live happily ever after? Something tells me no. I really doubt it. What do you guys think? Will he win Tampa? I say yes. What should we expect from Nick at the Olympia if he qualifies and competes this year? Last year he finished 6th behind Martin at the Olympia. He has quite a bit of pressure on him. I'm afraid that his current coach might mess things up or not bring him in right at the Olympia, since they've only been working together for a short time and they're not used to doing things together. They don't have that synergy. I think that also takes time to achieve. And it's not that simple. Tampa could also be a test run before the Olympia, which I also think is a very good decision so he doesn't risk everything all at once at the most important competition of the year. If Nick Walker shows up like he did at this year's Arnold, I think he could easily place in the top 5 or 4 or something like that, because he has the necessary level. I see it as very difficult for him to win, extremely difficult, almost impossible, but I do think he will improve. And if he doesn't and comes in looking bad, well, that's it. You're out of a job. That's it for today. Check out the channel for more content. This is Aries and Bodybuilding signing off. See you next time.